Right on time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, my Impact Wrestling fam? Welcome to episode 117 of the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Geoff, and alongside me again is the Sonny Siaki to my Jimmy Wang Yang.
Oh, what the hell? Son of a bitch.
Sonny Siaki. It's Lucha, everybody. It's Lucha.
Oh my god, the biggest heel turn of the century. Jeff just turned on me. Oh my god.
Oh, and boy, was it worth it, man. Boy, was it worth it.
That hurted.
Oh man, but whoa, Lucha, man, good to see you. Speaking of that, well, we won't give it away, but I guess it's already a spoiler. Screw it. To our loyal audience of LOL TNAers, this Tuesday is the Gimmick Battle Royal. 20 will enter, 1 will walk out, and maybe there's a flying Elvis in there.
And the winner, now see, that's the thing, Jeff. I've been having a problem with how you've been putting over this battle royal because you have not been putting the respect on the Gretchen Wilson all jacked up cup. Like, this is the most prestigious trophy in professional wrestling video game history.
For sure, yeah. Well, you can catch that Tuesday. Oh man, right after Power Rankings. Man, we got a fun show for you guys. There's gonna be a lot of changes coming up soon, a lot of catching up to do, but I'm excited for the ride, man. This has been a good time. This one's gonna be fun, and we got a lot more coming for you. Sounds like we're coming for you.
He's coming.
But
He's coming.
There's a lot of things we normally do that I didn't do all the gimmicks this week, guys. So your boy was lazy, but we do have
enough gimmicks. We had enough gimmicks.
Enough gimmicks, man. Enough gimmicks. But we do have power rankings. We'll obviously have the Impact review board. I got the poll results, and we have some topics that we'll talk about, including Chelsea Green's exit. We got Johnny Impact making an appearance. Nick Aldis, TNA change that we had had the cliffhanger about last week. If you rock with us from minute 1 to the end. And then VBD growing as well. So we got some really cool topics to talk about, and what I thought was a fire show coming from Impact. But Lucha, what are you most excited about talking about tonight?
Man, everything. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I mean, we want to talk about what happened last week. Last week was a pretty damn good show. Ever since the tapings, the loop that pissed everybody off, the Albany loop. Ever since then, you know what I'm saying, we've been, I don't know if it's been because they kind of corrected or, filled in all the holes, the plot holes from Albany, or if they just said, you know what, well, fuck it, we fucked up, so here's some action. Either way, we benefit. So
I think there's a lot of things that you can see if you take a step back that are attest to the actual tapings and what they've, like, obviously we typed in Vegas, so it's going to be a lot of promos for 4 weeks. We know what it is. Some of that has to do with it. But at the same time, I think there was a transition of talent at that Albany tapings. There was a lot of people that, kind of came in and then left, and then we were bringing in some people and then kind of clarifying what those people were going to do and Impact from that point forward. So I think it was a trial and error, and we're in a good place, but we'll talk about that. But first I want to talk about, shout out to Io, of course, the Twitter man himself, Io. But I want to mention all the other great shows on this channel, man, especially we got TBN, who just had their TBN chats with Zach Zodiac, which was awesome. But Craig and Nixon every Thursday talking bloody nonsense. Check them out. And, of course, GoGoPowerRankings, picking up steam. Love what they're doing there, and it's just going to get bigger from here. Adding to the committee as well, which we'll mention. Actually, let's go right into that. We got a few new additions, right?
Yeah, sir. Shout out to the homie Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with him. It's the homie. I didn't even know he was like in the running to get in the committee, and I just saw him added to the joint. I was like,
Tommy Impact as well. Shout out to Tommy Impact and everyone who keeps ranking. Really simple way to get into this, man. At Burt Macklin 11 on Twitter. At TNAIWChannel at 11. Shout out to Millard who just entered the chat there. Lifeblood of this show. It's really simple. You could talk to us. You don't have to. You drop your thing in after every episode of Impact and then before Sundays at noon. It's really that simple. And then you get your name at the end. You get the results like you're about to get now. Let's get right into that. Lucha, you ready?
No, but yes.
Power.
This will give me, since I'll be off camera, it'll give me time to prepare.
Number 10, number 1 contender Frankie Kazarian. Number 9, the Scumbag Moose. Number 8, Bully Ray. Number 7, the advancing Trey Miguel. Number 6, the returning Masha Slamovich. Number 5, world champion Josh Alexander. Number 4, last rodeo Mickey James. Number 3, Giselle Shaw. Number 2, new DMC Joe Hendry. Number 1, world champion Jordan Grace.
I ain't mad at it. How about you?
I just have one question.
Lay it on me.
Has there ever been a DMC champion at number 2?
I feel like Myers might have had one lucky thing. We're gonna have to holler at the committee about that one. The show masters, the TN Burt, they might know, they might remember. Yeah. But that's true. Every Tuesday, I'll speak. Look at that, like speaking it to existence. Datila coming into the chat. What's up, Datila? You could check her and Burt, as Lucha was just saying, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. PST for them. They're California kids. And great little show, man. Going to be expanding. Look out for that. But a lot to talk about it. I like it, man. I was scared. This is why I don't got to look at the chat. I just got to see the results. Make the video and see the results, right? I'm happy with this, man. Jordan, well-deserved. We'll talk about that and how we got there, man. But Hendry, I think everything's well-deserved. Moose, happy to see that scumbag back back on the rankings. Happy to see Bully Ray there. Trey as well. Who was the surprise? Maybe Masha? I mean, she had a big moment.
Yeah,
moment.
She came back. I guess I look at it as far as, who was actually in the ring, getting dubs and L's. But, making a return is, I guess, would you say that's a big enough impact to crack top 10, top 5 at least? Well, she was like 6.
She was 6, man. Yeah. I mean, it's a big moment.
She was over Trey.
Yeah, who advanced into the thing. Now under well, let's talk about. Let's get into that, guys.
Whoa, can I sing the song?
Whoa! Thought someone was gonna come in. Hendry comes in.
Adrenaline rush.
Man, maybe that's what it was. Was it the Backlund thing we always that we liked? Oh yeah, let's do that really quick. LOL TNA. We keep making references and forgetting we're on a completely different show. Shout out to the rabid fans of 30 that continue to rock with us with that show, man. We love you guys. This is nonsense and not nonsense. This is nonsense. That's what the show's going to be tonight, but
nonsense.
We appreciate it either way. Tuesdays they come out. We had TNA Jams where we had 9 music videos highlighting what's about to be this week's 20-man battle royal. Before that, we had the Total Nonstop Deletion and the TNA video game watch along, and then after the battle royal, we review IPWF. So good times, but we're reviewing
to get me ready to witness Throwback Throwdown 3 live in person at WrestleCade.
That should have been a topic.
But I'm real quick. I'm gonna just touch on it though. As much as I crap on it on Twitter, I'm actually excited for this show for reasons that I'm not gonna air because it will start controversy. Jeff, you know what I'm talking about. But
Oh yeah.
just, oh man, it'll be sad because I won't have the homie fifth period gymnasium, aka Desmond Xavier, in the building.
Or
But
will we? No, you won't. Well, I think you should enjoy it, and I think we'll enjoy reviewing it. But it's a good time. I get all sides. Trust me when it comes to it. But it's Thanksgiving. Let's enjoy the shit. That's my segue. Let's get off this. Speaking of, no, I don't got anything good. BTI. That's where we're gonna go. First, of course, we start with Iceman Intel, and this week, of course, we said it last week. It's not really intel. It's foreshadowing. But this week he says Jessica was late, and Jessica's never late, which is good. Good for Jessica to be diligent. But I like this because it put that spark in my brain of, are we finally pulling the trigger? So she lost. She's late. How's she feeling? We'll talk about her in a moment. But let's get back to finally Killer Kelly, who's on our TV screens. Well, again, she was there for those vignettes, but she's defeating Sandra Moon. Is that right? Is it Sandra Moon?
yeah, admittedly didn't watch it. You know me and
I know you
BTI don't
right.
get along. But I mean, I love me some Killer Kelly. So
yeah, good victory for her. It was the killer clutch. Keep doing the thing where she doesn't release it. The security, or well, the refs, the officials, whatever, try to do. So, now we're making our way to the show, and they open it. And what I always say is they like to bookend them with the main event on each side. And I thought this was the epitome of what we've been begging for when it comes to the DMC. I want it to be. I understand that people think the X Division Championships are intercontinental, but I just don't see it that way. History is one thing, and then, well, history speaks for itself. But not to be taken for granted, it's the X Division title, but this DMC could be that mid-card or right before ready to be main event player championship belt. And Myers versus Hendry, this match, it felt big time, I guess, in a way. How did it feel to you? Did you outcome all of that? I'll let you hit that too.
I mean, we called this like a while ago. I'm glad it went down. It was a pretty damn good match. I am in the category of the X Division is our Intercontinental, but like the DMC could easily be the US, kind of sort of maybe on the same level, depending on who you ask, what day of the week. Yep. But also, low key, I also feel like the X belt is the belt. Like, to me, the world title is the secondary belt.
Oh, I get from that perspective for sure.
Yeah,
for legacy and prestige, for sure. I get that. Kayfabe, it's hard to...
Yeah.
I mean, Amazing Red, and I love Red. Brian Kendrick. There's names that have held the X Division that just is that the route. Now, granted, you're saying same level. I'm cool with that. But I think it would be cool to start prepping the more main event style players. Because we got to figure, the X Division isn't going to be that style in the main event all the time. And Josh has done a great job, Moose before that, of setting the tone of what has always been one of our kryptonites in TNA and Impact history is the main event scene. So, yeah, man. But yeah, this was great. I had a little tomfoolery, if you will, a little Cardona, a little Heath and Rhino. Don't know what this means for Myers. Love what he did for the belt. His reign was great. Continued the great lineage. IO saying already in there. DMC already better than Legends TV and King of the Mountain. Yeah.
Hey, whoa. Hey.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, in different ways, but legacy-wise and what they're building with this, they are. If they continue with this and you look at that name, it's building. Keep it with this. And Joe Henry's obviously one of the hottest names in the company right now, so makes sense. So he wins there, and we move on to Giselle and Jay backstage, and this is one of those moments that gets that vibe we've been talking about, that TNA vibe again of just having fun with wrestling, but also having characters, I guess, in every segment, And this led to a video that Jay made for Giselle, which was a cut-up of TNA and Impact history greats talking about some parts Awesome Kong, some parts all different people. I thought this was great shit.
Yeah. it they've been going all in on Giselle, and I mean, so far it's been working out for us. So
yeah,
she's almost at anything she does is gold level, and she's got somebody to feed off of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's got her rock star spud to her Dixie Carter, I guess.
There you go. I like it. Continuing here, man, this is going to be one of those episodes where I like it is heard a lot because VBD is next up, man. And one of my things, if you watched the last episode or listened to it, thank you guys, by the way, love the reveals. I love these kind of things. These are my jam. I love aces and eights, so I know a lot of people that don't like aces and eights took it as a diss. It's not. It's just, I don't want to say I told you so, but their names are now Angels and Cons. Angels and Con, which is Nux and Doc, and the one named Bandits of of Aces and Eights. It's the same. Bish, right? They're all the same.
No. See, Jeff, you're mistaken.
What? They all had one.
No, you said their names are Angel and Con. It's not their names. Their name is Violence.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Well, either way, it's dope, and I love it. And what this means to me, especially with the video package, which we'll talk about later, we'll squeeze it in, of course, is this isn't the end game. These are two guys on the stop at a pit stop, I guess, if you will, to where we're headed with VBD. I just see it growing, and Masha coming out the end kind of put a to my hope, or did it? I think we'll talk about it. Continuing that of that TNA feel, here's X Factors, which I love this shit, man. Love it, dude.
More of it.
First of all, I'll skip around, so we'll go tail of the tape in case I forget.
Yeah, you took it from me. Because I was about to do the same thing. That same,
dude. Come on, man. And for two homers like us, man, that was just chef's kiss. Beautiful stuff. Shout out to and there's gonna be one more that's just give these men the bag kind of moments, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's get to the match itself. Trey Miguel versus Mike Bailey. Someone in the chat will enlighten me. I know Critical Sting usually does. I don't know if you're in there, buddy. But Bailey and Trey's record, 2-1? Is it Bailey to Trey, or is it 1-1? Either way.
I think Trey beat Bailey before Rebellion.
He did.
Or whatever it was.
He did. And then Rebellion, he lost to Bailey, right?
Yeah, wasn't it like the
Ultimate X.
Was it Ultimate X?
That's how Bailey won the belt?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then they had the singles.
They're 1-1, Critical Sting and IO.
Critical Sting coming in clutch. Critical Sting.
Love y'all.
Love this community. Thank you, guys. So 1-1. So this gives
Ace beat Trey at Rebellion.
Right. To Ace beat. Okay.
Yeah,
but they gave Trey that win over Bailey before Ultimate X or something like that. There was something. I know what you're talking about. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trey wins here, advancing a little once again tomfoolery. We get a TNA dusty finish, but Kenny King, who eat everything he does. Thank you again. He says it was in Florida about Trey and Bailey.
Yeah.
So Trey's advancing here. We don't get the ending we want, but Kenny King, this feels once again TNA giving the X Division guys a storyline, not just, hey, this is me versus you because we're competitive dudes. So
it's more than just matches.
Yes, more than just matches. And for that reason, man, I did not give a shit about the DQ finish. The fact that we're gonna have Trey versus spoiler-free show. Do you want to? Oh, I thought you were gonna say spoiler-free.
Oh shit! The one time you pass it to me, I don't catch it. Oh man,
it's
spoiler-free since '83.
There you go. But yeah, so Kenny King, how'd you feel about that? Did it like same page as far as it outweighing the DQ?
Yeah, because it had to happen. Like, because if we get a whole tournament with no shenanigans, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like you said, we're getting a storyline within the X division. We're not just getting matches, for the sake of matches, because that's always been a complaint, is just matches for the sake of matches.
Correct.
None of these matches mean anything. We're
And
doing it.
Is literally created 2 storylines with 1 match, which here's the reason I thought of you right after this finish, and I think who's just said it in there. We need Speedball to get angry.
Yeah.
And you know who else is getting angry? I don't want to jump too far ahead, but if someone kept pulling me aside, I say, "Hey guys, how you doing today? Nice to see you at work," and they say, "Oh yeah, good to see you, Josh."
A piece of shit.
Bully's a piece of shit. I would get shit. So I think there's a lot of angry Canadians, Lucha. That's what I thought he meant. There's a lot of angry Canadians getting out of there.
You know who else is mad?
Who's that?
The guy who's giving these guys opportunities, and there's just people coming in here and just acting all willy-nilly, banging on doors and whatnot. So the boss is like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm an angry Canadian too.
Yeah, right. Here we go. And Lance Storm just comes in and he's non-emotional. Yeah. Well, who cares? Because he should be the real coach.
Keep Scott out of it. We put Lance in there instead.
I agree.
The Super Team Canada, because you get the WCW and the TNA version together.
Playing at the heartstrings here. Playing at the heartstrings. Let's keep this madness going, because this is a Oreo damn episode. It is double stuffed. I'm hungry.
Goddamn Blizzard. Yo, they didn't dip my Blizzard upside down at the fucking joint. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get that free. I didn't want to blow up the spot.
I took a picture of Domino's the other day, and it had the cover of it was one of those pizza cutters, and inside was a pizza that wouldn't pull apart. And I was like, the irony! I have to send this to Lucha.
Oh man, it's giving us a bad name. Like,
cut the pizza. No, whatever.
I'm telling you. Go on.
Jobs. Yeah, so that continues. Kenny King's part of that. He hurts Trey, and Trey advances. Bailey's pissed off. We move on. Match of the week is a flashback to Jordan pinning Taya for the title, which was interesting. Maybe we go there next. Continuing on, though, Death Dolls, they're contemplating Jessica. This is where we see Jessica. She's upset. She doesn't look havoc-y. She doesn't look vicious. We don't know where she's going. But with Chelsea obviously exiting, it's a good time for maybe a split coming. Do you see that as the reason? Maybe that's the reason we're teasing this already? Or is it just because she lost and whatever?
I mean...
Planning doubt.
I mean, she's got right to be doubtful. She took the L, you know what I'm saying? She came out, answer the open challenge, popping shit.
Yep.
And then, how the champ gonna answer an open challenge? Like, I never understood that. Like, you're the champ. You're supposed to be issuing these, not, accepting them. So then not only did you do that wrong, you lost. So it's like, bro, I'd be sad, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like cashing in Money in the Bank for the U.S. title and losing. Like, I'd be sad as well.
Oh man, I digress. But yeah, no, I don't know where this is going. If it's planting the seed for Tasha and Savannah to win, or what, or that to be the spark for Havoc to break off, or whoever. Once again, it could be Rosemary. Who knows? Yes, I would still love for that to happen. Savannah and Tasha for Bullet Club. Hashtag. You got to make that hashtag. Flavor Club. I didn't put any signs behind me today. Lazy. Next up was a Kenny King promo proving why Kenny King once again was a steal of this man. I love Kenny King, and I said it last week and I'll say it again. Anyone you don't have to worry about covering minutes of television and just go out there deliver each time, no matter if you fuck with his storyline or not, or what he's doing at the time. So him on there, and I forgot what he said. Somehow he's trying to find the tricks of the Matrix. Is what I believe he said. So, all right.
Yeah, these one-liners are about to be crazy. But Kenny's that dude. Like, if you want to, you want a decent match or you want a good promo,
Yeah.
just throw Kenny in here. He got you either way. I'm glad. I'm glad that he's away from the stink of Honor No More because like he kind of stuck out to me in that group. He was always the one that he should have been the first one to leave. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yeah.
should have got Eddie versus Kenny King before PCO and all this nonsense. But Honor No More.
I'm happy either way though.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny, once again, stand out. And I agree with you. I think, we talked over that as far as who would fit well still together and whatever. And I love that they keep mentioning with Eddie is like, oh, me and Kenny still talk. Me and Kenny still talk. Like, they're still cool. They have the same vision. But
I'm
Kenny's
live
doing his
from
own
the
thing.
strip club.
Oh, yeah, you saw that. Lights
Yeah,
cut.
I'm live from the strip club, No, this
Swingers
isn't
Dungeon?
the strip club. We're in Swingers Dungeon.
There you go.
Again.
Respect.
I mean, me and Swing are cool, so
Well,
he's out doing dungeon things. I'm just holding it down.
Well, let's talk about someone that you're a huge fan of. Is it Chic freaking Rollins?
Yeah.
First of all, he gets new music,
Right.
which obviously someone is using his in the other world of wrestling. So he gets new music, like the music. The music doesn't fix his drop kick or his trunks, but look, I'll say it again. Joking aside, I think this kid is a talent. They're put him over way hard on commentary, way hard, and I get it. They mentioned his reach. They mentioned his popularity elsewhere. I believe in the talent. I believe in the talent of Bhupinder Gujjar. Just we got to put some things together, and I still think the opportunity of him having that net fall with Shira and Raj would be just so good for him, especially with that banging ass music. Put it all together. But he defeats someone who I thought should actually get the pin in G Sharp. Love the name. Love what he brought to the table.
This is a very competitive ass jobber, like,
right? Which I like because I think even though commentary is setting us up for the potential of Gujjar and the hyping of this, and people are trying to take him down because of this hype, even though he's still working his way up. So this guy should have a chance at a Gujjar who's trying to work his way up self-admittedly. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
but
it.
At the same time, it's Chic freaking Rollins, so you know what I'm saying. It's more than likely gonna end in an L for you. I'm trying to think of like some catchphrases, you know what I'm saying, to tie it in, so I can really get this Chic Rollins brand going.
I think when it comes together for this kid, it's going to come together, and that is going to be, as I was saying in their shout out, the great Gujjar leveled up, critical sting. It's just going to be everything coming together. That's investment in and it sounds silly, but attire. That's investment in the time to develop a good intro for him, for an entrance, so the people could feel part of it. There's going to be things they have to do because, and I hate to say one-dimensional, because his talking is limited right now. Hence why, once again, a Raj and Shira could not Shira, but Raj can put this guy over to that next level. Now, can he do it on his own? I believe so. I don't want to get that twisted. I just think that it's going to take more time than people are assuming that he's going to be world champion tomorrow.
What if they gave him? Okay, now hear me out.
Yeah,
let me say it. Let me say it.
Let me hear it.
What if you give him like a Sting type angle where like he just doesn't trust nobody, he doesn't say anything to anybody or whatever, and he just just sticks to himself. He's kind of like brooding, like a Sting plus Raven mix, you know what I'm saying?
I would say that's the way I would never thought in my life. Someone put a gun to my head, I would never think that's what you would think. So that's interesting. I'll have to ponder that. I'm not in the treehouse enough to make a good answer.
I'm not saying make him Sting.
No, I get what you're saying.
But
I just never really
clarify.
That's yeah. I'll just hit you with mine, which is I think the kid has a very good look. And if they play up the fact that he's the golden child and he does have some muscle around him, and you give this dude a fur coat and you make him some kind of just like boss of some kind of. I think you go heel with them, and I think you go something where he's driving Lambos and like I don't know. I just think that's a two opposites, but both could work. I don't know, weird but something to do with
Bhupender Del Gujar? Is that what you're trying to get him to be?
but new age. Like I'm talking, you know what I mean? Like neon lights and Lambos and living the Desi lifestyle on the underground. You know what I mean?
A Desi Playboy.
A Desi Playboy. The original, not the original play from Himalayas, but you know that would be cool. But hey, let us know. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let's keep moving this train along, though, because Heath and Rhino's next, and we already alluded to they got to tell somebody that Bully Ray is a piece of shit. And that somebody is Josh Alexander, and Josh is fed up. You can tell in his reaction to this is, when will this end? I think that time's coming soon. Maybe right after Overdrive. I don't know. I think Josh is snapping. Are we on the same page, man? Like,
you think? It's happening. I just don't know when. So you saying that this is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back?
I think he wins at Overdrive. And then I think something happens after Overdrive where Bully makes it apparent that he's coming at Hard to Kill. And sometimes, is it a tag match? Is it something basic like that? Or is it deeper? I don't know. But I could see an episode of Impact ending with Josh smashing Bully's head in with the chair, concerto, whatever, and Impact ending. You know, I be right before. Maybe then they have an explanation right before Hard to Kill, because I just don't think he's losing. I don't think he's losing to Bully Ray either. He might, but I just think that it would be a good time. Maybe a good time to do it.
See, here's where I'm at with it. I agree 100%, but like,
cool.
I imagine instead of him cracking him over the head with a chair, he'll like put the chair on his leg and like hit that number, because you know Bully Ray is Calfzilla. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little jab at the history and try to take them calves out.
I'm going through the TNA chest and I gotta take out his calves. Oh man. Speaking of TNA history, actually, what a good segue. Lish goes in to check on Jessica, who's reading a self-help book by ODB, which so she's doing the BAM. I love Jessica like this. It's not that I wanted to hate it, but of course I want her to expand that tag division. Laura knows we need it now. But so she does that. Jessica exits. She's obviously in between somewhere, who Jessica is. Questioning that, she leaves Eddie's there, like a backstage SmackDown from the early decade. You go up to the next person backstage, and it's Eddie, and he says he ended it for her. He said he buried his last of Honor and Amore. She doesn't believe him. He exits. So who knows here? Starting a little, we know later that PCO is still alive. Which I would hope, since they just signed him.
Right.
He's still alive. That's good.
Did you sign him just to kill him?
Here, put him in vacation. Here's a vacation. So we keep on, and we go to the last rodeo. Chelsea Green versus Mickie James, and Mickie James is picking up the win here over Chelsea Green. I thought it was a good match.
That's probably like... one of the top matches of the night.
Fair.
One of the best women's TV matches
in a second.
Of the year.
Of the year, okay.
Like when you want to look, if you want to be that nerd and look at the women's TV matches of the year, this one's got to be like.
What are you trying to say, Lucha? It's this guy.
You know.
No, I don't tell you. I do love Ray Walt. What do you say? Do it for do it for Deanna. He's yelling to Chelsea during it. Well, she doesn't. She takes the L, man.
Mickie sells her fucking ass off.
She does, man. She's smooth. For someone who's gonna, let's call it space. She's gonna retire at the end of this at some point, right? For someone that's on that trajectory, like, come on, she's putting on some damn matches here.
Fucking female Shawn Michaels.
Ooh. Is she the HBK of the white? I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna tell you, is your Sheik freaking Rollins analysis is the Mark Madden's HBK of the Y2K for Shannon Moore. That's my comparison. Next up is Macklin. Speaking of that, shout out to Deanna and Macklin. I know they watch, of course. Getting married, living in happy matrimony. But Macklin's angry and he's looking for Scott. And who does he find? He finds Tommy Dreamer. He finds Lish, and he finds Johnny Impact. And we tweeted this shit out. Taya then eventually later I put the eyes, man. I was hoping people caught it. People did catch it. I thought I was crazy. Still am, but interesting. We'll talk about it. Let's save it because we'll talk about it in the topics because there's a lot to talk about in that. So I want to move on because there's a lot of questions that come at the end of that. But we'll get the end of this is next week. We get Tommy versus Macklin in a old school rules match, which is just another W for Macklin, but I get it. Next up is a result of, and I like that they do this, man, keeping social media relevant, right? Their social media relevant in matches and making it work. Bully Ray was confronted. I guess Bully Ray confronted Zicky Dice and Swinger in a little clip. And social was on Twitter exclusive, or
I think so.
Okay. And then it led to this match, but Bully Ray defeating Zicky Dice with ease. Love Zicky, but that sucks. But there was a table brought in the ring conveniently, and that scumbag Moose comes out and beautiful take, beautiful spear. God. Moment. Bully Ray alone for that take deserves a moment on the damn, getting his respect for that damn table smash, man. Is that what we're called? Table smash.
When you say that Moose speared Bully Ray through the table, he literally speared that man through the table.
Yeah.
Like, the frame was still there, all beautiful and shit, but wood was disintegrated.
Good shit. Good shit. And not bad for the numbers either, man. I Bully Ray is one of those TNA winks that I'm happy about. It's not like we're pulling out, and I don't want to name names, but there's been these TNA specials we've done, and they've pulled out some names, and you're like, I get it. Like, I'm a day oneer, but I get it, but I don't think everyone does.
Sonny Siaki.
No, one, they never pulled him out, and two,
Thank
that
God.
wouldn't be the case. But let's keep moving on here, man. Love this. Love Moose being, like I said, back on the rankings, but back on TV on a consistent basis. Don't know if that's injury related, contract related. Hope it's not, because he's putting a lot of people over, and he might at Overdrive as well. So we'll take a look there. But Sammy is up next, and he's talking about VBD. And we get the DMDJ. So what is that? Death Machine Double Jeopardy. So how this works, Lucha, you want to tell the people?
Def Jam Vendetta?
I wish.
All right. So basically, it's a one-on-one match. We got Evil versus Violence, excuse me. Sammy versus EY. No DQ.
I think we did it.
Violence. No DQ, no count out. You can only pin your opponent once they're in jeopardy. How do you get them in jeopardy, you ask? You gotta make them bleed.
Crimson. The Crimson drop. They got a triple. They gotta get that blood flowing. So yeah, this is what we're gonna see on Impact. Not a pay-per-view, not anything else. We're gonna see it this week on Impact. Love the segment. Love the look of it. We're getting back to where every segment matters. Every segment has character, and this one did. You knew Sammy, if you like it or not, that Sammy was on, not that Sammy was on TV, but, if you like the edit or not, that this is Sammy's moment. So,
yeah.
Dig it. Next up was a Fire Jordan Grace promo. I love that, man. Because one of the things about the first time, and obviously it was a different circumstance, and maybe at the beginning of this run as well, we weren't getting Jordan as the Jordan we are getting today, which is fired, she is the epitome of women's wrestling to me, and she's our Knockouts champion, and she's getting a run like it. And this promo was one of those things, man. Let her talk her shit and then go out there and fuck up some people. It's very Taz-like. I don't know. I know a lot of people say Samoa Joe and all that, but it's very Taz-like that. Here's what I'm going to do, da-da-da, and to come out. I love the presentation of what they're doing with Jordan.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
You remember the Rhino comparisons?
Yeah, right. Because they
Do
did it.
you think they're more valid now because she's like ripping through these MFs?
It hurts me because I love Rhino, man, and that the TV title matches and the pushing Jack of the Wheelchair and ECW stuff, man, with Carino. Jordan's on a different level, bro.
That's very fair.
She's just so for that reason, even though he's an NWA champion, he's ECW champion, ECW TV champion, love what he's done, US champion, love Rhino. But Jordan just feels she's special. Not that Rhino wasn't. We're still talking about Rhino 20, 30 years later. Still on our TV, for fuck's sake.
Had ECW had 2 more years, Rhino would be like a real, like...
You don't know?
They had 2 more years.
Man, they even gave him a good look. That first little thing and with the invasion and before that with E&C connection, they put him over.
Mm-hmm.
Injury kind of put whatever in them personally. But Rhino still, his history is phenomenal. Like, you can't test that. I just think Jordan... especially it's easier to make a dent, obviously, in women's wrestling when it comes to the history of it, because there's been so many pushed down of the division for quite a bit of periods over our history, of our modern history. So to stick out is one thing, but then to just be that level that Jordan is another story, I think, man. But Jordan's staying, Chelsea's going home. I know you had something on this, right? Was it on Chelsea going home? Was it about this, or do you want to say it for?
I don't know if it's because she's really gone and this was them writing her off, or if this is because I'm holding on for all hope and all this and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Either way, how this went down with Deonna and Chelsea was verbatim what happened with Gia and Mickey. Word for word, bar for bar, flow for flow.
Yeah. Copy paste.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whether that was on purpose just to, poke fun, or that was on purpose because we still got a story to tell. Either way, I'm keeping my eye on that one.
I like where your head's at. I don't know if I agree. I know I saw some of her saying, why change it if I'm having the most fun I've had. I just don't know. I think there's money in Cardona and her, and then Myers losing the belt. I just don't know. I don't hope for it. I'll be optimistic like you, but you're right. Everything hits the same, like legitimately.
Bar for bar, flow for flow.
Quick thing that's kind of upsetting me. Wasn't Rhino a former mayor? He did run for mayor. Millard. Trying to clean up the chat real quick. Catch you guys up. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Make sure you hit a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all that jazz. We're getting through the review and we'll get to our hot topics that we got for you. But real quick, there's something there Millard has that I really want to mention. He said Josh won't turn heel until he faces Macklin in the match. And after that match, we're getting a double turn. Josh heel turn and Macklin face turn. The heel turn, anti-heel like Stone Cold, which would be so poetic because I've said that I feel that Macklin is the ringmaster before he becomes Stone Cold. Don't know if we get to that level, of course, I get it. But that's where I feel he's at. And if Josh is the fighting champion as a face, will take on any challenger, which is a Bret Hart special, that is a damn good analogy, man. Millard, shout out to Millard there for that.
I've always seen, like, Josh is like our Bret Hart, what I'm saying? Yeah. Bret Hart plus Kurt Angle. If Bret Hart and Kurt Angle had a wrestling baby, it would be Josh Alexander.
I agree. I like it. Yeah. I like it a lot. Let's wrap this up a little bit. Well, there's so many heavy hitters in this. I know we have not as many topics at the end, so go a little long because real quick, see Rhino in the chat. By the way, anyone that types Rhino, this is for your old heads out there. When you ever type in the word Rhino, do you ever want to put a Y instead of I?
Yeah. I want to sometimes, but then, like, now knowing, the real Rhino and everything, I look at that as disrespect.
Fair, but I liked it with the Rhino. It's just hard to break that habit. Same with the WC with the C. Big C, little W's. Next up, man, speaking of just nostalgia and just, I said with the X Division title match, I'm glad they saved it for this because the dust is cleared and they saved it for this moment. But this is what I was mentioning earlier. Give them the bag, give them a raise, give them that vacation that we thought they gave to PCO, because the team who put this video together deserves all of it. What for something that I want, and I love Kaz, just him not to have anywhere be near that title. And not in this match, I just mean as champion. And I love Kaz and I get the history of it. This made me kind of not give a shit if he wins. Like, I'm not going that far. I want Josh. I'm staying the course. I'm heavy. My feet are planted. But that damn video package, man.
Yeah.
Makes a nostalgic MFers like us like think twice. I thought that was fine piece of work.
And that's one of the reasons why I like Impact so much, as far as like the history of the company, because it's fresh enough to be celebrated, and they're celebrating it in a way to where, because like the game wasn't how it was 20 some years ago. You know, well, I mean, I guess it kind of was, because we did have Hogan and Flair wrestling, 20 years after the fact.
Right.
But like in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have fucking San Martino and Don Morocco out here wrestling in the Attitude Era, you know what I'm saying? Or wrestling in WCW or what have you.
Right.
Like this, and even if they had historic rematches, it felt kind of, it didn't feel made, it felt bought, because there was no real history.
Yeah.
We got all these like moments and stuff, all this history that we could just easily go into and just pick out of a hat and just drop it on the table.
I'm not very inept, or not inept. I am inept when it comes to the app and stuff. You tell me like, oh, there's this playlist of this, and I'm like, blows my mind. But it just, there's so many things that when you tell me that, like, oh, they put this together, or they've had this together, this is already, go watch the Hardy stuff. Anytime we're doing TNA research, the amount of, being a fan from June 19th, 2002 to now, you might feel a little different being in the moments, because the peaks and valleys were kind of hurt you, right? They hurt you. But now it's like, damn, it's a whole different universe every year that you watch Impact. Like, there's so much craziness of content on there for so many names in this wrestling industry. We'll talk about the TNA brand a little bit later, but anytime you can use it like this in the present, like you're mentioning, is just, it's money. It's art. It's art. It's art. And we already obviously talked about ending with PCO alive. We end with Masha as well in her moment. But we got to talk about the match itself, the main event that was Jordynne Grace versus Giselle Shaw.
What?
I obviously only know what the point of view. I don't know anyone else's point of view of this, but I see you clapping already. We talked a little bit off air. This was a damn fine, and happy for Giselle, because we said the character, everything is the gimmick, and now that she has Jay, all of this stuff has been formulating. It's a snowball, right? We're building that snowman, right? We felt the character part was there. We felt the comfortability was there. We felt like she knew who she was as far as in wrestling, and this just said, as far as I know the Mickey match did that as well, but it's been match after match that says Giselle is the spotlight. It's on her. Not yet in the full sense, because Jordynne ain't no slouch, man. We already just put her over, but what a damn match. Giselle looked awesome. Jordynne looked awesome. We had that double ending with Masha coming out, just showing that even with the tag division taking out some of the big players, we still have some heavy hitters in this knockout division. We're talking about Killer Kelly, who was on BTI.
We got
good shit,
potential
man.
Bullet
Good shit.
Club in the tag division. We still got. Well, I mean, we got the tag team and the Death Dolls, but there's still the Rosemary effect. You know what I'm saying? That's still there.
There's Sue, who's waiting in the shadows. We got some people, man. It just, yes, I think there should be some more. maybe this is a time to bring in a couple newer talents to feed that tag division, start them up as a tag right from the get, even if they aren't on the indies. But man, damn fine showing from the Knockouts. Bookending technically from BTI to the main event. Lucha, I don't have all the wonderful birds chirping and all of that, but if you can't tell already, I give this show an A. I mean, this is something, not only we have title changes, which you can't have every week, but, we get development with people that returned or are new to the this show knocked out of the park for me.
Yeah, it was another. And I had said about last week's show, with the exception of the Eddie and PCO things, I really did not care for that too much. Yeah. That last week was the perfect episode. This is right along up there. And I don't even have a with the exception of, really. Because, I mean, this show was pretty much everything hit.
It did, man. It really did. And, we obviously pride ourselves on being unbiased, transparent, honest, all that stuff. And a few weeks back, we were very honest, unbiased, transparent, and all that stuff. But these two episodes and this one gave me some confidence. There's some things we still need to do. This isn't us slacking on. By the way, the crowd, beautiful looking crowd, beautiful shots from far away, looked big time. Still need to touch up some things, obviously. But I thought this was a great showing from them, and you guys
give me the hard cam back.
We do.
Just give me the hard cam on the crowd back. I loved that look.
100.
Or at the very least, if you want to be cool, you know what I'm saying, do like a from the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So where you get the stage and the people.
You say, screw it. You're gonna take shit no matter what you do. You put a tunnel right in down the thing, and we look at hard cam all day. And just do old school, man. I miss them tunnels, man. I know AEW has them. I literally has them.
Fuck, they're ours.
They're ours. They are ours. We'll bring that campaign back. Let's get into Hot Topics, because we went long on that, guys. Thanks for rocking with us. We love you guys, man. Got some great stuff coming up. And
for the Hot Topics.
Make sure you... Yeah, so we don't have any of the cool gimmicks. There you go. That's our budget. Thank you. There you go.
See, we went a little big on the TNA budget with the money that Scott gave us, so we kind of gotta,
have to move it around. Around somewhere. I want to start with the obvious here, because Chelsea's a multi kind of a story. You obviously said that maybe you think that this could be just part of the story. There's reasons to think that. I don't think you're crazy, because her just going back to WWE, is that a guarantee she's going to be in something that, unless they already put her in something, maybe Matt goes with her. Unless there's that guarantee, I just don't know. I don't know. And that's not her loyalty to Impact whatsoever. I think she does go to WWE. Is it now? That's the question. Maybe there could be something where she sticks around for a little bit longer, and this is the okie doke for a little bit. Who knows? But with her going, there were some interesting comments she made about when someone asked her where she would go and if she has unfinished business anywhere, and going to AEW. And she said, just dismissed AEW like there was no chance in hell she would go there. And what I found interesting about that is I don't think it was a diss as much as just that door. It felt like she was saying that door is closed. I don't know why, what the reason is. Not going to speculate on that. Kind of gives me hope with Deanna for her sticking around. So I wanted to mention that to us, or to you and our listeners. But there was a mention in the comments. So, and forgive me whoever said this, but Millard had mentioned this in here. It said Impact books women wrestling the same way they book men's. And that's a credit to the ladies and the producers in the back, and I agree. And someone had said that, is this the time, because Chelsea's leaving, if she does, we've already talked about that, but to get rid of the KO titles, tag titles. In my opinion, I think that's mad disrespectful, because one, I think just people were pitchforking for the DMC to go away, and look where we're at now. I think in a fine position to keep that going. The tag titles have lineage, and once again, the women are treated just like the men. And for that to be the case, would you say when LAX or the North broke up and left that we should get rid of the men's tag titles? Did that ever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that ever. Now, granted, they said we should give the KOs another title. I just don't. I like them having tags. just because we don't have maybe the depth to do it in an 88-minute show right now doesn't mean we stop trying. Or do we? What's your opinion?
Now, as far as, depth and all this other nonsense, I think we're good kind of where we're at because the DMC, oh man, you should have had Heath queued up. We could have used Heath like 3 different times on this episode. You're talking nonsense.
That's funny.
He's talking nonsense.
I was looking at you over there. Nicely played. Nicely played.
But we're fine. You know what I'm saying? Because I was tossing this idea around in my head about the DMC. You imagine a Giselle Shaw, Joe Hendry angle?
That'd be something.
Because, Giselle could just keep constantly trying to, go at Joe, be like, yo, let me challenge you. Joe's like, nah, I'm not going to fight a girl, blah, blah, blah. So Joe has other defenses. He beats, all his other people. And then after every defense, Giselle comes out. And it's kind of like Joe's running from Giselle, but not because he's scared, but because,
he doesn't want to face
the whole. Yeah.
But
then he relents and says, you know what? Fuck it, let's go. And he does it.
But what about the tag division?
Why? I was speaking, but I was speaking to the depth. But as far as the tag division,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Did we not just talk about Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans?
We did. Talk about the Death Dolls having a third party. One, who knows?
Yeah, there's another. We could run another combination of the Death Dolls. You know what I'm saying? You could do Death Dolls, Freebird. Death Doll rules.
Love Killer Kelly, but if she's not going to get play at the top right now, where you got Jordan, you got Masha, you have people waiting in the wings, do you go her in tag division, give her someone formidable and actually have a real run?
Hey, keep an eye out on all these people. Like if Kelly's going through the division again or whatever, keep an eye on who she's fighting because the whole thing with her and Tasha isn't done, really, is it?
That's true.
And we again, Tasha Savannah tag division. So if they win the titles, we might have another team on the way up. Maybe Kelly's just trying to find someone who's on her level through having matches with them, and then she beats somebody and is like, you know what, I like you.
I like that. And what's funny you say that is, and I don't know if it's Sandra Moon, if that was. Apologies if I'm wrong, if I'm butchering that. But they gave her a lot of play here. It wasn't as much as G Sharp. I don't know if I'll have to go back and watch.
Impact got the fire ass jobbers.
Swear. That's what I'm saying. They got the guys that are almost as good as their talent. But yeah, I think the tag's fine to wrap that up. I don't think you get rid of it. I don't mean it as in shame on you, it's disrespectful. I just think it's we wouldn't say that about the dudes. And there's been times where our tag division for the dudes have been butt cheeks, like cheeks, and breaking the ring cheeks. You know what I'm talking about? And so I don't know, man. I think we just keep at it. I get it. We don't have maybe what you want, 4 teams, 5 teams depth, but we keep 2 to 3 strong, and it keeps peaks and valleys. As Critical Sting's in there saying, I like them. Plus, they're beautiful belts. As
long as they can put together title matches that means some sort of a fuck.
Yeah.
And so far, I mean, they've done that. Look at the past champions we've got. Look at the programs we've got. Look at look at everything. The tag division got us Tasha Steelz as a solo star because she broke out of that. You know what I'm saying? Jordan and Rachel.
Savannah eventually will follow that mold, I think.
Boom.
So I'm with you, man, wholeheartedly with that, and I think once again is something to your credit that you alluded to earlier or talked about earlier is once again that library, that vault, that TNA Knockouts tag has history.
Taylor.
I mean, we're talking how many? What is it? 2010, 11?
What the tag
tag
titles?
Yeah.
Oh, late 09?
Okay. Oh shit! Damn. Okay. So we're talking, obviously over a decade. So I just think there's money in keeping them. And it makes sense because there's going to be times where you can't keep Rosemary. And I know the option's another belt, but I just like this. And as Lucha said, the DMC I think is for everyone. So even the X division is for everyone.
Yeah.
So
One of the reasons I'm bummed Mia Yim didn't stick around. I kind of would have liked for her to have a little thing in the X division.
Fits. And
but Giselle could still do it too, because I mean Giselle's not
true.
She's an athlete.
That is something I think I want that first X division knockout to be Jordan. She's the record break. I feel
she already won the X belt.
Not in real life. Well, none of this is real. Speaking of, is this real life? I'm gonna use that as a segue. Johnny Impact was not edited out of a promo, or wasn't he not edited out on purpose? But he was big-footed, or Bruce Pritchard, if you will, during a segment. So that goes down in history. They kept it in there, which is also great. One, Lucha, it's Johnny Impact returning, and two, did they pay him for that cameo? What is this just a Easter egg?
Probably. And see, here's where you said that we're unbiased and all this, but here's where I'm gonna totally sound like a homer.
Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, this is his Easter egg. But you also gotta think about it. Impact isn't like the backstage segments don't play all the time, when there's not action happening. Shit, 8 times out of 10, you hear the matches happening while segments are happening.
They've been better, but yes, there was that. Yeah, it's been bad recently, yes.
Mm-hmm. But so
you think
it's not like but it's not like the crowd. I'm saying it's not like the crowd saw it and the crowd popped. It's like, oh my God, Johnny Impact, but then he doesn't come out, and then the crowd's leaving pissed off because that Johnny Impact didn't come out. The only people that saw it were, I guess, the TV land people. So it's like, if we see Johnny Bigfoot in the back, then maybe we're intrigued to tune in next week to see if we see another Johnny Bigfoot, and it turns into like our White Rabbit.
He's just parkouring off of different things. He's suicide. He could be.
No, it's like we got a segment in the back where there's violence happening, people are getting their asses kicked, but like in the background, kind of Mortal Kombat style, that one stage where it's the bridge and you're fighting, but then in the bridge in the back you see other people fighting, like sparring and shit.
That's just him. It's him and Del Rio.
No, it's him and fucking Suicide just parkouring.
I just remember that Del Rio brawl where they're on top of like fucking trailers and shit. Yeah, man, good times. So my point though is, you don't think this is anything more than that?
I mean, this could be on purpose, and he could be coming back, but maybe this is the thing.
What a way!
It's Johnny Bigfoot.
I'm okay with
Johnny Bigfoot.
I'm okay with it.
It's like our White Rabbit. Like, we knew who the White Rabbit was.
Right. But you want to play the game. Sammy, ICU, we knew, but you want to play the game.
Yeah, let's play the fucking game.
Yeah,
so it's like, let's see how many times they can pop Johnny Waldo in plain sight, but not plain sight.
Someone's got to make a photo or of a shirt of Johnny walking by.
Where's Johnny?
That's good.
Second point.
Yeah.
Remember also when Josh left Impact, and there was some picture that came out before some tapings, and it was some dude who was bald and had a beard that looked just like Josh, but then come to find out it was R.D. Evans. They tried to say that it was R.D. That wasn't Josh. Josh wasn't there.
Sure.
What if they try to play that route to say, oh no, that wasn't Johnny, that was somebody else. That was Sheik Rollins and Street.
Sorry, Millard's saying Johnny Bigfoot is like Max of talking nonsense. He's here, but he's not really. Love you, Max.
Hey, Max is too busy crying about the Steelers being mid. But then again, the Panthers are mid. Yet I'm here every week. But I also don't give a damn about the Panthers. So holla at me about the Mavs.
Go Fins. So let's keep this train going. We got about 25 minutes left, and I think this does. I think this does bring Johnny back. I see that. Well, I don't think this does, but who knows? We've seen
Johnny
weirder.
Bigfoot.
Either way, Josh just passed him for world champion reign. He's no slouch when it comes to the history of Impact, and I thought he did a fine, good job, man, when he was here. Do I want him to be world champion? No, but could he be a challenger for the DMC? Could be a challenger for the X division, something in the tag, with Taya maybe. Who knows, man? You could do a bunch of shit. World challenger, who knows?
Ooh, Taya and Johnny going for the world tag titles. That would actually be kind of intriguing.
Right. All right. So I think there's room to play, and I think having someone of his caliber isn't something to. Oh no! I mean, it's Johnny Impact. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But one of those where I might have in the past said, okay, not that I would have Johnny Impact, of course, but Nick Aldis. Now, I have come around since the Slammiversary appearance and all of that. I've watched some of his work. I enjoy. I don't know enough to say I'm this or that as far as on screen what he does. I gotta admit that. I don't know. But as far as what he's saying and saying the right things about TNA, and on the last time he was here, he did the right things, I'll give him a chance. He's a big dude, good age, with a lot of history here. Obviously, connection with Mickey. Makes a lot of sense for this to be their home if they think NWA's toxic or whatever they think. Once again, same with Bully. It's one of those things where, Bully, I guess. And then they come and you say, this dude's been wrapped with TNA for, oh yeah, I do like that. Oh, and they could throw back to that. And they could run. I like it.
Isn't Bully more of a TNA guy than anything else?
Oh, for sure.
Anyway?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
As far as years spent in company?
Year spanning for sure when it comes to actual literal, time. But as far as memory, I think he's ECW for a lot of people. But maybe not. Maybe not. It depends on what era, I guess. But I think that's where you're first known is where I think you first kind of are whatever with. Like AJ's still TNA to me, even though he's probably been going to be in WWE longer than his stay here. But the point is Magnus, if you will, Nick Aldis. I want to see the work before I back up the product. But as far as what I saw last time, and as far as his history with TNA and this company, it makes a lot of sense because the big names aren't out there.
True. Bonus question.
Yeah.
What does he come back as? Nick Aldis?
Yeah.
Or Magnus?
He was here for that last little loop as Nick Aldis, so I say Nick Aldis. I say you move on. And they've done that with Laurel Van Ness to Chelsea Green. They've done it with,
Jade to me.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the other ones. Yeah, Jade with me. Yeah. So there's been there's someone we're missing that's a glaring one. Yeah. Aldis is shit, but at least he's better than that fast piece of shit Tyrus. Oh my god, Aldis is shit. I don't know, man. I want to see his new stuff. I can't be, I can't be judgmental until I know his stuff. But one thing I do want to talk about, because we're in the TNA realm, we talked about nostalgia and the money that it is for this company. We've talked about this company rebranding in general, and at the end of the episode, you kind of gave a what if. What if we just call Impact today and we go to TNA? We go back to TNA Wrestling. It's been long enough. The numbers are there when it comes to YouTube views and the nostalgia when it comes to merch. Is it time? What about? So I want to hear your answer. Actually, I want to hear. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Okay, if they did just say screw it and we're gonna go back to being TNA, I wouldn't be against it. I would be. I see where it makes sense in the sense of more people know TNA than that those who know Impact. So if you bring TNA back, maybe maybe the tea leaves are actually there with the CW thing, and boom, welcome back to the CW. No, we're not bringing Impact Wrestling to the CW. We're bringing TNA to the CW. That would be probably a bigger look. But what I would prefer, and what I feel like would be a good meet in the middle is we rebrand the show.
Yeah.
Keep the company Impact Wrestling. Just call the show Total Nonstop Action. I would sleep well at night with that.
That's hard because it almost makes me feel there's so many emotions coming back. That's you're a nerd. That comes back from when Hogan changed it and it was TNA Presents Impact Wrestling. The show's always been Impact to me, and the company's always been TNA Wrestling or something of that nature. So it's hard for me to go against that. I think it's been long enough time, and the proof is in the pudding when it comes to the homecomings, the Slammiversary, the reunion show, the buzz. And the only reason I lean towards, and that's why I wanted to hear your opinion first, just to see how it swayed me a little bit, because I am on the fences. I love the brand so much, and I know the boost it gives. Are there enough naysayers out there now that could hurt the company when it did that? I don't think so, because we've seen rebranding as Impact that them same naysayers are there, just finding different reasons to hate. So if we could bring back some old heads that aren't part of that hating group, that are, oh shit, TNA, yeah, there's something cool about that brand. And we're seeing it with that Kazarian package. We see it when you talk about Bully Ray and Aces and Eights and that stuff. You see when they made references and joke about it. I mean, the Hall of Fame is what... There's so much to do, and there's the thing that's pushing me over on it, besides the cool aspect. The CW thing is like the rebranding in general has to happen at a point, and that would be a great launching point. Like when you rebrand, like the final rebrand, it's TNA. If they were to do 2 shows, call it easy. Make it one Impact, one TNA, right? But if it's just one, to have the big gold belt back, to be honest, and the tag, those beautiful tag belts. Even though I like ours now, I don't know. I just think there's money in TNA. I think they've done a fine job of making an Impact, and if they stay with Impact, I'm supporting it, and I like it. But TNA, it sounds so much better than This Is Impact.
And see, I feel like, that's a simple fix that us as fans can do. We just start bringing back TNA chants and just make it, make that our thing, because it's total nonstop action. If there's some total nonstop action spots happening, he's gonna go TNA, TNA, TNA. Like they still chant EC Dub anytime someone goes through a table.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the thing is I think we need to bite into that. And he's Parkside and Millard says that if they change their name, they would have to bring the 6-sided back. I don't think you do.
You don't.
I don't think you do. Being they didn't have it on day one. They didn't have it for this amount of period. I don't think you need to do it. We know if they just said, hey, man, it hurts the wrestlers more than the other one, we'd say, oh, okay. So maybe we need to explain that a little more. But it's a gimmick. It's awesome. I love it. But I think we don't need that anymore. The product is good enough to where we don't need to stand out by that. We are the ECW of this era. But TNA was always that cool fringe brand, and I think that's important. The other thing with it, and the reason that's pushing me, and I never got to, I apologize, is the window. That window of opportunity right now where you can bring back people who are still healthy and young enough to have those video packages like Kazarian, it's dwindling. AJ's getting up there. Not that he's not going to be around for quite a bit longer, but when is time to make that homecoming? Ain't happening many time, after his contract's over at WWE, so it'd have to be as a favor. Rude, Joe, these people are getting older, man. Even if they become free agents, we have to wait till then. So now is the chance, I think, to do it. But is that what I wanted to do? I'm not saying that either.
I mean, along those lines, the only one that I see that's like the last realistic one is Red.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think Red comes in play at some point. I think we could see Key back. I think there's a lot of people that make it worth it to name ourselves that again if we went that route. Do I see it happening? I don't know. But the shirts and the merch and everything branding is looking fine right now. I can't wait to see whatever that branding is.
We need more retro TNA shirts on
Yes.
Shop Impact.
Yes. And they will sell out. And that might be an answer for us right there. I do want to get to one more thing because I see Eric Young going back or by on that Tron. This is our last topic. So make sure, thanks guys if you're rocking with, especially the chat. You guys, I love you guys. Critical Sting, Parkside 7, Io's in there, Datila, and those who are lurking in the shadows. We love you and appreciate you. Obviously, check out all the other shows on this channel. And we have some great stuff coming up. Some news that's not the news we've always been talking about, expanding and stuff, but some really good stuff that we're going to do to refocus on individual shows. Oh, and then, of course, check out Impact Wrestling this week. Taurus versus Black. So we get their Taurus versus Black. Black Taurus. Yeah.
Black versus Taurus.
Black versus Taurus. We get the answer there. Who will face Trey at Overdrive? We have Macklin versus Dreamer. We have the EY versus Sammy match. And I know I'm missing one. It'll go by the time we're done. But check out Impact Wrestling, of course. Check it out in Overdrive, November 20th, Friday, November 20th. But the last one I want to talk about is VBD growing. I mentioned it kind of small at the top about Tasha versus Jessica. Thank you, Curtis. Clutch. Mentioned, obviously, Angels and Khan and coming to the group. We mentioned, at least my wish list of Masha and Macklin. If we're going the route and we both agree that it's going to be people who, I don't want to say could need to recontrol their narrative. I don't want to say that. But them kind of people who need to maybe come to the group and be saved by violence, right? That's the feel of it. Is there anyone out there that isn't on the Impact roster that maybe that fits that to you? I've been...
That isn't on the roster?
Right. I can't, like, I know there's names we could think of all day, you know, the Damos, the Madman Fultons of the world.
There's one.
Who's that?
There's one. Jake.
Oh.
You bring Jake back in the
Jake
VBD?
something.
Yeah. Bring him back in the violence vehicle. The violence mobile.
I like it.
And then that way you could also, you know, if he's getting baptized in the holy waters of change, of violence, he can get a new name, you know, Jake, whatever the hell, Jake Violence.
Well, it seems they're going the one-word route, so Diener, Angels, Khan, and something. That's kind of fun. I kind of dig it. Fuck with.
Something would work.
Something would work.
Jake would work. Either would work.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I know that we've played this game. I don't want to say game, but we've played this. This game in our head quite a bit of who joins VBD. Right? We've mentioned 2 wish lists with it on there. They're saying, does that baptism make him all buddy with Diener? Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's another thing is, I don't know how these are gonna play. You mentioned tag team counter last week with Khan and Angels. I don't know, man. You got Diener and EY. You bring in some other people like a Jake or some. Well, Jake could be a singles for sure, but there's a lot of room to play with this group, and I don't want to do this to slight Honor No More, to feel as if this is coming as vindictive or they left us. It has nothing to do with that. Love each individual person that was in Honor No More. But at the end of the day, I don't think it can click, especially because what you mentioned before. Once Honor No More, or once Ring of Honor was bought, kind of was a tack in the tire of the shit, letting the air out, slowly. But still good times here and there. But VBD can do something that maybe Honor No More could not, which is have a champion at the end of this come out of that. I know we said Macklin is a face. Maybe that's the route we go. Masha and Macklin, I think VBD and the words they're saying, this feels like expansion. They're going to grow and like a disease. And I think there's more people to come.
I mean, who knows? Maybe there's still hope for your Masha prediction, because, we didn't see who EY was talking to that week. So maybe he could have been talking to Alan and Masha. They could have both been like sitting there on their knees in the yellow hoodie. In the yellow hoodie, you know what I'm saying? So maybe we still get that.
That's what I think's endearing or really intriguing about this, man, is that there's nothing that's written off. There's nobody. I mean, obviously people, names that are signed elsewhere and whatever. There's people that are written off, but there's the imagination can play with this because there are people on the roster as well. We have a couple minutes, but I mean, there's some people. I think I saw Jack Price in one of those hoodies, by the way, in the ring. I got to recheck it, but so obviously they're using some gut check kids, but there's got to be some people. Where's John Schuyler at? He's on the roster, but is he right doing something, man? I know he's a Myers guy, but hope they stick around. There's got to be some cats on there that aren't Masha and Macklin. Maybe just that could use that. I don't want to say Googer here. I don't think that fits. It doesn't pedestal him, and that's what I want when his new gimmick, whatever it may be, the other people around him pedestal him. Who is on the roster? Rhino, a rehash for Rhino?
Nah, we've done that already. I mean, maybe the flop and you have Heath join would be interesting.
That would be cool. I love it because it gives a refresh to somebody's character. Like they could drop whatever the hell they were doing, be it Canadian Party Boys or whatever they were doing IPWF the week before, Jake Something and Diener, to become Crazy Diener. You know what I mean? Like it makes you wash away whatever you were doing. I like it.
What if Josh joins VBD? What if Josh is the centerpiece?
Is that our cliffhanger? Is that what we're gonna? Sorry.
Instead of Team Canada, we get Josh's Violence.
Yeah.
Alexander.
That would be some shit. I feel like there's something, and this is what the reason of bringing Honor More was up is that obviously I feel like this is. I don't think EY's character too cares about the belt on him as much as he cares about the design of his plan. Maybe it's designed to get someone else the belt, or there's a lot of ways we could go with this, and it's really intriguing, man. And I see Jacob Fatu in there as well as an idea.
Yeah, right. Because I was just thinking of like a Vader type cat.
They need
and like Fatu. Oh yeah, buddy. Because I was about to throw Shane Taylor out there.
That would be interesting. They need a powerhouse like that. They need. I mean, obviously they have Khan now. They have Khan,
yeah, but you look at Khan as more being the tag guy. Like you need the guy to fill the Joe Doring shoes.
Yeah.
Big Joe shoes.
Well,
so you gotta upgrade the monster. So you either go with Big Bad Shane Taylor, or you go get fucking Jacob Fatu and
I just
Fatu and Violence. Oh man.
Oh, that would be a match made in heaven. It's just a matter of. Does he come? There's a lot of things that play into that. Now, someone who's been looking jacked and is a Impact guy for a while, even just
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin, yeah. Madman Fulton looking good. Obviously, always in Wrestling Revolver as well. Has some connections in Impact still. Was obviously Ace's side for quite a bit. OVE maybe making a loop to come against VBD. Sammy's going to need some help.
He's gonna need some help,
but I just think him on the side of EY's new sanity would be cool as well.
All I know is this rivalry between Sammy and EY, if they play it right, can stretch all the way until about March, maybe April, and we can have a good old lethal lockdown OVE versus VBD.
Let's end it there. There's no better way to end it. Let's end it there. Check out all the shows starting Tuesday with Bert and Datila at GoGoPowerRankings, as well as us on LOL TNA. The Gimmick Battle Royal 20 will enter. One will walk out the champion of
the Gretchen Wilson All Jacked Up Cup.
There you go. Check that out. But that is our cliffhanger, guys. Thank you. We love you. Appreciate you for all rocking with us. Subs up to 341. Thank you there. Go show love to Io on Twitter. 3,950. We need some more there. Even with the bots gone, we're holding on. Up the Twitch here. Thank you guys for watching us on YouTube, watching us live, or listening to us on audio. That's building back up. But our cliffhanger this week is this. If Lucha's right, not right, he didn't really predict it, but a damn good storyline that he came up with himself, is if this can draw out to April, right? April's lockdown, generally.
March, April,
yeah. That makes. Because we do have, what do we have in April now? Rebellion?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the logistics. Let's put this is fantasy booking here. You got VBD. Doesn't have to be Khan and Angels. The group could grow by then. But if it's VBD versus OVE, 4-on-4? You want to set it at 4-on-4?
Khan, Angels, EY.
Or you want to do 5-on-5, make it interesting?
You could do 4-on-4. If you do 5-on-5, I say we take it a step further and that fifth be a knockout.
Okay. Let's do 5-on-5. One includes a knockout. You don't have to include every member of VBD now. Have fun with that, guys. We love you. We thank you. And, of course, as always, go watch Impact. Go watch Impact every Thursday. They've been knocking out of the park, and it feels like going into the new year, momentum's building, and they're preparing for something. Some kind of rebranding. Is it TNA? We don't know. I doubt it. But either way, it's gonna. If it's anything like their T-shirts that you need to go peep at shopimpact.com.
Hey, you might as well go ahead and get in the swing of saying it.
Hey, let's see. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks for coming out. God bless and good night.
As always, shout out Diamond Villain, shout out Mike G, shout out Impact, shout out the chat, shout out everybody.
All right, oh, not GoGoPowerRankings. There we go. I was about to press Power Rankings again. Go watch that Tuesday. Bye, guys.